What in the actual hell is going on with us in perimenopause and menopause, and why? And what are we going to do about it? And do you have any suggestions?
I just love this topic because we have all experienced this complete chaos in this stage of life. You know, us women, we've already known some roller coasters with our cycles every month, but it just gets blown up in the postpartum stage, in the menopause stage, and yeah, we need more awareness because medical school, nurse practitioner school, we just don't talk about it. It's something that I saw so much in practice, seeing women in their late 30s, 40s come in with these new symptoms that they've never had, and I didn't know how to help them. It wasn't until my postpartum journey that I was like, we need to fix this, because my OB also didn't have any fixes, who is amazing. Like, I absolutely love my OB, but the things that I was going through where I wasn't depressed, and like I had to figure it out on my own. And luckily I was in this functional medicine space where I could dig in just a little bit more than just an antidepressant. And so it's my passion to help women in this stage.
You know what's interesting, Jenica, when you talk about the fact that you're kind of doing this differential diagnosis, right? Which is something we as therapists do. If somebody comes in with symptoms, we try to figure out what it is. Which diagnosis is it? How is it showing up? What's the difference between bipolar and cyclothymic or dysthymic, right? We have all kinds of ways that we approach that. I have been so grateful that we're studying kind of the mind-body experience together. And every time we have symptoms that are showing up, such as yours, Gabby, we should be consulting with the medical personnel as therapists to make sure that we're not just saying, go to your psychiatrist and get an antidepressant or clonazepam for those times of panic, right? So it's critically important we have those discussions.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, because I've seen so many women who, you know, have these strong mental health conditions that, well, maybe you're having something wrong with your gut, or you're not getting the nutrients that you need. You know, it's just the holistic approach.
Well, and if you have depression already diagnosed before any of this process occurs, it's really hard to differentiate what's happening.
Well, and this probably isn't going to help you.
It isn't going to help. It just keeps building
estrogen.
on.
So, Jenica, we have you here. I want to tap your brilliant brain and the resources. What advice do you have for women struggling with their hormones? What are the lifestyle suggestions? What are the approaches if you want to go in and talk to, even though you had a wonderful OB, who do people talk to that isn't going to be oh, we don't do hormones, here's an antidepressant? What do we do?
Yeah, the first step is that awareness, because us as medical providers, we're not trained in menopause. Even medical school and OBs, they don't get the training. And I'm sure some people listening are thinking, why is a nurse practitioner here talking about menopause? Shouldn't it be an OB? But they also are lacking in training. So it depends on their residency, if they actually have menopause training or not. So finding the right person, that's step number one, because you may have to go through multiple people to find someone who really understands and can give you the treatment that you deserve. And, right now in this stage of life, our body just isn't as resilient. So even though in our 20s, we were able to, go out and celebrate an entire weekend, we just can't do that anymore. Our body just does not bounce back like it used to.
And of course, it's a one size fits one, but what are some of maybe the supplements or the hormones, or how, when you finally reach your finish line of someone who's on your team, what might they offer you as relief?
Well, the gold standard of menopause is hormones, because everything that's happening in our bodies is related to that drop in hormones. So I find that some women do well with some supplements in the beginning, but definitely those lifestyle things. Number one, the biggest thing, if just the main take home from today, would be blood sugar balance, honestly. That one has been a game changer for so many of my women. We had better blood sugar balance in our 20s and early 30s, but then as we age, I kind of joke that everything either goes up or down in menopause, and our ability to manage blood sugar just goes down. Our cholesterol, that goes up. And yeah, so many changes.
Well, so how do we balance that? How is it just protein or
diet? Diet is huge. High protein, getting quality fats, not just eating carbs alone, exercising, movement. It doesn't have to be exercise. It can just be movement. After eating, that can be really helpful for blood sugar, but that's one of the big things. And of course, sleep as able. But
Jenica, I'm kind of curious in terms of navigating the healthcare system that is so complicated for a lot of people. I mean, first of all, when you're not feeling heard by your physician, I think it's really important to scream and shout and bring in a magazine. But I also think that in terms of this, do you cover all of those when someone meets with you? So you cover the diet, you can do it all, or do you refer to a nutritionist?
We partner with nutrition,
Perfect.
But
Okay.
I, of course, bring in the diet piece because it's so fundamental. Like it has to be there. So I do it all, but then call in the experts when needed.
Perfect.
That's incredible. I mean, what a beautiful conversation, and we could not be more grateful to all of you.
Nature's going to happen. We're going to lose our hormones, but we don't have to suffer. That's the piece that we can intervene. I love hormones. I give them to women all day, every day. And I think we can stay on them forever. There's new research coming out that is just showing the benefits of hormones for our brains, for our bones, for our heart.
Are there any long-term side effects to staying on hormones that we know of?
You're going to find both sides to the story if you look. Yep. But the research now is showing that it is beneficial to stay on forever. I have some really wise mentors in my circle, and they all promote hormones for as long as you want.
Yep. And the truth of it, just like mental health and the different diagnostic manuals we have, things change. We're going to hopefully learn more. We're going to hopefully gain more information about how to treat any of these things.